This is a voice test. Voice test. This is a voice test. This is a voice test. I'm talking how loud I would talk if I was explaining what I'm doing. Yeah. So now we're gonna print the web. The web is pretty easy. You can't really fuck it up. We're going with this pink color here, and the screen's already taped up, so let's go. I gotta crack this open. Which is always a slightly gratifying feeling if you can fucking get it. Man, come on. Whatever. There we go. That only took a second. Wipe that shit off. Do a slightly better job than that. I think that's enough. It's really more than enough. You don't want to put too much on there because then you end up just kind of wasting shit. Always try to keep it as close as I can to what I need so that I don't end up wasting stuff. I am going to print this with this squeegee in 2 parts. First time, flood, maybe twice, maybe 3 times. I think this ink is kind of thin. It looks like that won't be enough ink, but it will. I'm pretty sure. I hope so anyway. I can see there's some parts that I didn't fully wash out my emulsion on this side, but whatever, it should be not too bad. And I'm gonna try to disguise this bead somehow. Ah, fuck it. That should be okay. That looks pretty cool, but the real test is what it looks like on this shirt, because stuff looks so different on just a stark white blank shirt than it does a colored shirt, than it does a black shirt, whatever. You know, there's so many different variables to screen printing and just to making stuff in general that it's always kind of exciting for me to do. I think for a lot of other people too. That should be enough. I think I'm putting too much ink down, but we'll see. Yeah. Fucking super weird flood, but whatever. That's my favorite thing about doing these is that I get to be super, not necessarily lazy, but just kind of do whatever the fuck I feel like. I get to be a slave to convenience and error. That blowout, and I mean that's part of what I'm talking about, that blowout at the top is getting pretty fucking heavy now that's the 3rd print, but whatever. Let it rock. I usually just pop it on its corner to do this flood, because that's easy and a good way of just not being in contact with anything. Just float it in the air. And I guess I'll drop my ink bead there so that it's easy to get after. Just kind of the only place on the screen where I got some room and no image. Fuck, man. Sometimes it takes me a couple times. That's good. I've got 3 more prints after this. I've got a flower on the red spot of dye. I've got a jaw, like right here. And I've got some stripes under the armpit. Crazy flood. Living on the wild side. But whatever. I mean, it works. That's the thing about printing on fabric. It absorbs. If you were printing on paper, it'd be very obvious that I was doing really shitty ass floods, and the ink would be visibly uneven. You'd see at the edge of the squeegee there how there's a bead. You can see that bead, and I mean, in some of them maybe you can. I remember seeing one earlier, but it's not as apparent with fabric, because fabric's so absorbent, and paper, all the fibers are so tight together, it just kind of sits on top of the paper rather than sinking into it, really, like it does with fiber, like especially cotton, or I mean not fiber, like it does with cotton. And of course, like, that changes depending on how dense the knit of cotton is, and a bunch of other different questions you got to answer and experiment with when you go to print. Last one. And maybe this is too many passes, but fuck, whatever. It takes an extra 2 seconds, and I can kind of just be a bit more confident that it's all going to turn out. Sometimes you risk the chance of, over flooding or something like that, but I found with this, once you get the first hit down, you can really give it some pressure, because the first hit kind of seals it. But I do have better detail in there probably than I do at the end. Oh, I forgot one. Fuck. That happens sometimes. Especially when you're kind of dumb. But I'm a genius, so it's not my problem. Okay. Thank God I saw that. That's a super pain in the ass. If you miss one, and then go wash your screen, or pick up all your ink with the squeegee and put it away. The sleeve's in my way. And then realize you've missed one. It's not a good feeling. But whatever. It's like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. People so worried about time. What is time when you're having a good time? Probably on some sort of t-shirt selling tons of fucking units. Alright. I wish the spider web was bigger. That's kind of my main regret with this one. But it still looks cool. I'm not crying over it. Okay. Clean up this ink real quick. I don't get too crazy about stuff, but because I find just a couple quick swipes of each edge is like good enough. Like I don't need, you know, maybe some people, but again, I do what I want. I'm fucking lazy as shit. Okay, pop the lid on that guy. Grab the squeegee, grab the spatula, grab the screen, and I've left some like decent sized gobs on it. Whatever, man. Just keep it moving. I'm gonna use cold water. If you're gonna reuse the screen, like, you obviously wouldn't be this rough with it, washing it off. Like, I would probably have just gone at it with a sponge and a bit of light water. But I'm done. These are one shot, one and done. Okay. Shit. This Staples tape sticks and rips off into little pieces. I will never buy it again because that is such a pain in my ass. But I guess that wasn't that bad. But if you leave it for longer, if you leave it for like even sometimes a couple hours, it'll be so bad that it'll take you like, you know, an extra 5-10 minutes just to get all of the little pieces off. I'm donezo. The globs in the sink I'll get later. Ooh, I should let that drip for a second. Donezo. The next print is the jaw, which is the same glow in the dark as, or half glow in the dark, half white Permaset Super Cover, which is a really thick fabric ink that's good for printing on black. Much better than like say Speedball's white, unless it's like opaque white. Even it's better than the opaque white though, because this is like, you know, the consistency of that stuff. The fluorescent has a weird consistency, but the consistency of most of the Speedball inks is like yogurt or something like that. And this is like, man, like sour, like thick sour cream, like super high milk fat sour cream. The jaw is over here. What? I forgot to turn this on, which is not what a smart person would have done, but that's okay. I'm just gonna blow this out quick. This is just a forced air blower. I use it to clean my computer, but it's really good for drying screens that aren't fully dry. Or sometimes you can see, you don't, well, I shouldn't be using my teeth. You can see that you didn't wash out all the emulsion, and you can use a sponge and then use that to blow it out really quick. You don't have to wait for it all to dry again or throw it back in the little area there, fan area. Okay, now I don't really remember which way this goes. I think it goes like this. Something like that. I think like that. Just like, maybe here. Yeah, that's good. And I think this is good to go. I just need my spatula, or not spatula, squeegee rather. This is a decent size. Maybe I could go smaller though. No, fuck it. This is good. The question is, oh, and I just got that wet. The question is if all of these are dry or not. But I guess that doesn't matter. I can do a couple things in the meantime. All of the images, or most of them, I find on the internet. Some of them I've taken myself. The flower, for instance, is a flower that I flattened. Buy flowers from this woman. I think her name's Helen. Lives up, or she has her store up on Bernard there. It's not too far. She's got all these bird cages. She's got, you know, it's crazy. Plants, everything hanging in front, and she'll like sleep in the doorway sometimes. And every time you go, she kind of asks, and I love it. I think it's the coolest fucking thing ever. But she kind of asks, like, if the, you know, first she asks if the flowers are for someone, what year they were born. But anyways, no matter what it's for, whether it's for a person or for a project, like I'll tell her if I'm just getting flowers for myself, or usually if it's for myself, I'll take pictures with merch or some other shit. And she will kind of suss out what the energy of the thing, so she can, like, you know, use her energy meter to curate the right bouquet of flowers, which I always think is super cute. But that flower is part of a bouquet that I got, and then recently, as a hobby, I've been trying to press flowers because I think it's cool. I think flowers are really cool. I don't know. I don't know anyone that doesn't like flowers. Yeah, I think it's just one of those quintessential things in life. Some nice flowers. Okay, well, I'm tired of waiting, I guess, and this I think is good to go anyway. So I'm gonna flood this. Maybe 2 times enough. Oh, 2 times was not enough. Or maybe I didn't do enough pulls at the bottom there. Or like when it was down. Where's this going? Right here. We'll see how that turned out. Probably better. Yeah, better. Did I overdo it a bit? A little bit, but whatever. Better on than not. Or like better kind of darker than lighter in my opinion, but I guess that could be argued too, because you smush too much ink and then you got to go wash your screen and everything else. That's going right there. I think that's good right there almost. I think that is good. Yeah, that's good. Maybe I could do one more. But that's not bad. What the fuck is this? I got some spilled ink on the ground. That's no good. Did I do that? Oh my god. Fuck me. I'll have to come back to that. That's too much. Or actually, maybe no, it's not. I don't know. I never know these things. That's why I just make up the rules. I gotta fucking move that one. God damn it. Get that stuff out of the way. Whew, I'll tell you, it is pretty hot in this damn studio. I gotta go move that other one. But yeah, I was saying, I guess, a lot of the images I take are stuff just off the internet, just off searches. Like, it's not much of a process other than just kind of thinking of like some sort of rhythm between things or some sort of visual language that exists between. I mean, some stuff is similar, like there's a lot of bones and patterns from nature and stuff like that. I like tech shit as well that mirrors that, and I don't know. I'm not good at explaining these things. I just let my brain do the work quietly inside my head. That one's pretty good. Yeah, what is that, I wonder? Maybe I spilled some of the glow in the dark earlier? I don't know, that's what it looks like. It looks like I tracked it from somewhere, like, I don't know. Weird. Right there. Right there. Das is good, man. Alright, let's clean this. Let's clean this little mess up here. I get some rags. Here's one down here. Or maybe it dripped off the... I really don't know what happened. But that's okay. It's not that big of a mess, I don't think. It's just right there. It's just right there. It looks like the glow-in-the-dark stuff. That's plenty good. Okay, time to wash this stuff. And then one more turn, pin, last two prints. I had to take a break there. My brain cells were getting a bit tired and I needed to refill my Nalgene and rest my head and my eye because I'm holding this camera in my one eye socket like a monocle. So what I'm doing next, I gotta unpin all these shirts. I'm just started doing this method recently. Before I was stuffing, or stretching the shirts around boards of masonite that were, all cut roughly to a square similar to the inside of whatever given size shirt. But I want to start doing more oversized printing, like to the very seam. I also, with the boards, they slide around. They slide around on tables. They slide around if I put them on here. And I can't have sliding around because then you get a double image. So I'm trying this out. I also was printing the other ones on the floor because of the sliding around. I guess that's the point I was trying to get to. Again, a bit tired. I've been printing all day. And it's getting pretty late. So what do we got to do here? Just turn these guys sideways. Like this. And what I learned the last time I did pin this, because like I said, I just started doing this with the pins, was to do the bottom first. You stretch it like you'd stretch a canvas or like anything else. You just kind of build tension in a logical way. I wouldn't start up there. Start with the square corners and then work your way up. Just kind of, I guess, flatten it out. I don't have much fabric to work with this one. This is the small. The one print, the flower is going to go here, and then the stripes will go there. But yeah, with the other sizes, there'll be a bit more wiggle room at the top. The only thing that you've got to worry about in this situation is this bundle. And the frame of your screen or whatever, just even the body of your screen resting on the bundle, and that gap, the gap that creates between the screen and the shirt, which can let in, you can end up that's where, over flooding or something like that, or doing too many passes can be bad because the gap just allows more and more. You can kind of see here, like it's a bit smushed. It allows more and more ink to go out. With this whole process, I don't really mind. It's kind of part of the whole aesthetic, thankfully. Again, the slave to convenience thing. But I honestly do think it does look cool. And I do try, I don't just like completely throw in the towel and like whatever, make everything look shit. I do try to correct some of the errors as they come along. Let's not pierce too much there. This sure as hell takes a lot longer than the boards, because the boards you just spray with spray tack and pop them on there. It is a bit awkward popping them on there. It's a lot. That was the thing about the boards. Like I said, printing on the floor, it's kind of awkward getting them on there. There's a bunch of different stuff, and this feels really comfortable. I don't get fatigued as easily doing this because I'm not up, down, up, down, up, down. And I think it's a bit more fun. The boards, it's a bit square. A bit boring. But I've got two more to print here. And the colors mixed for each are over there. The flower is going to be orange. I probably said that already, but I'm not sure if it's going to be exactly what I'm looking for. But usually once I mix a color, I just say, well, it's mixed. The choice is made. That's I was getting tired before, and I probably still can't explain it very articulately, but that's another part of this whole process is like, and it's, related to the image searching where it's kind of this free thought association type thing, and I don't really think about it too much. I just kind of seek out images that, I just type in words, or I have pictures of my own or little trinkets of my own that I want to take a picture of. But I don't think about it too much. I just kind of type shit in and do stuff. And that kind of reminds me of also just what I do with the ink and the image placement and every other aspect of the project, where it's like, I don't really overthink stuff. I kind of do just follow my intuition, and a lot of the times I'll mix a color, like that's why I'm sort of talking about this. I'll mix a color like this orange, and I'll think it's kind of good at the beginning, and then later on I'm like, man, I'm second guessing it. I'm like, is this I'm not watching what I'm doing. Is this the right choice to be making? Is this going to be the right color? And like in this situation, I'm thinking the orange is just a super similar hue to the red. Is it even going to show up? And the answer is probably not super well, but I don't know, I kind of like that. Just making a decision, mixing a color, sticking to it and seeing where it takes you. Because sometimes, I think if you let, and that's what, this whole thing, I think it expands my visual vocabulary, my color palette, all sorts of different things, just because, I'm not overthinking it. I'm not relying too much on this perception I have of like what looks good and what doesn't. I just kind of go, and you move through each step in almost like a trance, but a little bit of a rush as well. And just in this mentality of acceptance. But I think it, sometimes stuff happens and it's like it doesn't, okay, that did end up kind of looking shit. But other times, you can kind of, things that you formerly would have thought looked bad, you can kind of open up new doors. You can kind of go, whoa, I never would have, if I had overthought that choice, I never would have done that. That's not a choice I would have made in a regular circumstance. But in this circumstance, I made the choice, I accept the choice, and now it's like, yeah, it's like something foreign to me. It's not even, it's good. And that's when I know sometimes that I'm making kind of, not a breakthrough, but just pushing myself, is when I look at something and I'm like, damn, that looks weird. It doesn't sit with me. It doesn't sit well with me. It looks a bit off to what I would normally do, but I don't know. It's working. So I guess it's something to try. Something to do. Break outside of the, I guess that's pretty hackneyed advice. Break outside of the normal. Break outside of your routine. Do stuff that like kind of scares you. And you can be freaking rewarded by it. You gotta take that leap of faith. All right, I'm gonna take my keys off. Shit. I'm gonna put my apron on, and we're gonna print this. There's phone out of my pocket. I should stop swearing so much. So maybe we should do the stripes first, because the fluorescent ink is going to dry a hell of a lot quicker than the metallic ink. This is the color of these stripes. I'm going to tape a little bit of this off. If I can, yeah. And all I've got left is this crappy Staples tape, and I bet I only have enough for a couple goes. Again, I shouldn't use my teeth. I worked at this one place, and this guy taught me the trick of folding tape over, and then you rip it like that. But I can't seem to get it. And that's it. I think the fold just has to be really sharp. There can't be like a gap in there. But I used to be great at doing that. I was having trouble earlier today. Maybe I got it again. No, fuck. Anyways, whatever. And I kind of fucked myself here, because that's right. The bunch of sleeve is right where I want to be going. I think it'll be okay. Let's try it out. Nothing to lose. We want a squeegee that is this big. Probably this guy. A bit wet still. Dry that off. Okay. Start with this guy, test shirt. And the test shirts now, after they're kind of worn out in terms of there's not much space left, and you can't really see, because there's a lot of crap going on right now, but printing this or something, I can still see, okay, does that look good? Did it wash out of the screen? Because there are times when it's like, maybe you forgot to wash out some emulsion, or too much is blown out, or whatever. It's just not working. But, I don't know even the point I was getting at there. This is the test shirt. Anyway, what I was saying, I guess, before I lost track twice, was I'm turning these into wall pieces after, like little canvases, which has been really fun. And, you know, stretching them and then drawing on them a little bit. I think that skipped. That's because that gap. God darn it. Drawing on them and using spray paint and all sorts of different stuff, and approaching it in the same sort of way where I'm not really overthinking the marks I'm making. I'm just making marks. Okay, I'm going to shut up for a second so I can blast through this. Maybe I should pull side to side. Oh, yeah. It's jumping a tiny bit, but that I think looks great. I think that's going to help pull this all together. Okay. Yeah. That's a little bit. Let's see. Hopefully this doesn't skip. But, oh, that's good, a sign. Yeah, I guess I'll just print horizontal. See, sometimes I'm just not thinking. That makes a lot more sense. But, you know, I kind of wish I could just pull everything towards my body, because to crank my shit sideways is not the ideal situation for me, believe it or not. I don't like twisting my whole body that way. This one is ridiculous. Maybe this works. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, I think sideways it's just kind of sealing. Oh, that one I didn't flood enough before. It's not like terrible. I guess because it's on the red too, that's why. Yeah, that's probably why. They're all different. Each one unique. Oh man, probably been hearing me mouth breathe this whole time and chew gum since after the intermission. And if you're annoyed by that, also remember that you've made it this far into the video and that's on you, not me. Okay. All right, that looks good. I wonder how long this is going to be. I saw the other one was like half an hour. I don't think I'm gonna. I don't know what I'm doing with this. This is kind of, this video is just a whatever test, and we'll see. I want to do something. I've had an idea to do something called DieDye Diary, which maybe is a corny name. I'm not like. I mean, I guess I'm okay with names. I'm pretty good with names, but I also sometimes don't put in enough effort, maybe? I don't know. Anyways, DieDye Diary, I had an idea to talk about things going on in life, in my life, I guess, or just general topics while printing and dyeing and whatever else. But doing this right now, I don't know how possible that's going to be. It's pretty tough to, excuse me, to talk and do shit at the same time. Okay. That's good. Ugh. There's bugs flying in from outside. I had to close the windows even though it's so hot in here. This is getting attacked. Beautiful. I think that looks cool as hell. Yeah, this one looks very different. I feel like the front is more empty compared to other ones, or it's less of like the centerpiece. I'm trying to do a bit more like of a wraparound thing with stuff, or I'm not really sure. That's, again, it's just the feeling I had. I was like, this might be something. Okay, I gotta focus. What do I gotta do? I gotta clean this stuff up. I shouldn't have left that with no lid on it, but it's not like ink dries immediately, depending on what kind of ink it is. Like I said, this stuff super creamy and like thick. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of water in it. I think it has to do, like, the more water is in your ink, the more water has to evaporate, the slower it dries. So the more like liquidy inks, you've got a decent amount of time before you really got to go clean them up or whatever. This is water-based ink, of course, not plastisol. Plastisol does not dry unless you have heat. I think it maybe can a bit in the air, but it would take a long ass time, I'm pretty sure. Okay. Let's get this crap. Where'd my sponge go? Whatever. I think I say whatever a lot too. And man. But anyways. it this far in the video. I hope you're getting something out of this. I would hate for it to be all for nothing. I didn't mean that to be sappy in any sort of way. It was supposed to be a joke. It didn't really land, even with me. Okay, flower time. I think we're fucking pretty much just good to go right now. See what I mean though? It's really close. I don't know how much it's gonna show up, but let's see. Okay, we gotta get a spatula like this. That's a bit too big. I think maybe this guy. Yep. Okay. Give it a little mix. And hopefully this, hopefully this kind of shows up, or there's at least, what I was trying to explain, I'm afraid of is no contrast, I guess. So it just kind of blends in, because they're both the same range of mid-tone. Like if you were to look at it in black and white, it would just become a flat area, which I've done before, and it's not the end of the world. 2 floods? Maybe 3. Metallic ink is weird. Because there's like literal glitter sparkles in it that can get caught in finer mesh screens. And it just kind of dries faster and everything because of it, or just it gets more mucky, like the image. I wonder if that's enough. Yep. I'm gonna place that kind of close to the front. I guess it'll kiss the spider web, but not be on it. Maybe a little bit more on it, yeah. That should be enough. Kind of shows up. I think I should hit it with extra ink. And it's tough to see the glitter stuff sometimes because the glitter, what am I saying, man? Yeah, I'm getting real tired. It's tough to see the metallic ink, like the actual hue sometimes, because how the glitter inside of it shines off of the light. Like it's difficult to see what the fuck is going on. Man, maybe I should shut up. I've taken like 3 looks to minimum to figure this out. Let me put a bit more on this time. Maybe it'll be a bit more intense. Well, it's going to be super subtle regardless, but I still dig it. I still dig it. We'll see. I mean, it's kind of just parts of the whole, really. You gotta wait till you see the final thing all together. And even then, you know, talking about doing things that you wouldn't normally do and things that you wouldn't normally like, and things sticking on you that you wouldn't expect to stick on you. Sometimes you see it at the end, the final product, and you're like, nah, this isn't really what I had. And a couple weeks later, you go back, and that's kind of your favorite thing at the moment, or whatever. Just a lot of the times, what I'm trying to get at, I guess, a lot of the times, something I instinctually, or just my first impression is, oh, this is a winner, can turn out to be a fucking loser in the long run. And some stuff that seems like a bit of a dud turns out to be kind of cool. I'm realizing I meant to print this in the other orientation, but it looks cool like this. I'm not stressing. Last one. Finito. Well, I think I'm gonna, maybe I'll pick one up so you guys can see, even though they're still wet. Which one should I look at? Yeah, like it's pretty subtle. That's okay. Oh, it looks cool though. I dig that. And here, check this out. Fuck, I hope that's not rubbing off. Maybe, I don't wonder if you can see on camera. This ink on the side is, it's maybe not dark enough in here, but the ink on the side is glow in the dark. And so is the spine, I think, on the back, but I don't know if you can see it because it's like half glow in the dark, half white. Anyways, wow. If you did make it to the end of this video, that's pretty wild of you, but thank you. And thanks for supporting the shit I do. Thanks. Bye-bye.